All right, cool, cool. So I am going to share my screen. Boom, boom, boom. All right, so we had the beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Kurt Franklin on. But when you all are starting to trade, right? When you all are starting to trade, you have signed up for HFX, you are ready to go. You're going to go through hfxquickstart.com. This is going to give you everything you need to know before you even start your demo account. Right, so the first video is the overview, right? Then we go into our recap, which is literally everything I'm going to tell you, but in a shorter amount of time, right? So if you got nothing that I said today, this recap is going to explain everything you need to know. Now we're going to get into our brokers, right? So our brokers, we do have a couple different ones that are available to you, and how to buy Bitcoin, right? So the Bitcoin funding is exactly the same way as it is in the exactly the same way as it is in the FRX market, but you are doing it through HFX. So we have three different options here. Okay, so the first broker that is available to you is VidForex. This is a 250 minimum deposit, right? You have to use the promo code on this site in order to get that discount. Okay, if you do not go through this site, the minimum deposit will be $500. Now, your second option is IQSend. So IQSend, there's another promo code. This is a $100 minimum deposit, right? And then our final one that is offered on here is Race Options. Okay. Now, I know you all see at the bottom, it says, have this deposit match, right? They're talking about a bonus. So the bonus when you're trading, right? When you set up this account, they're going to give you the option of, okay, you can either fund your account and take this bonus, which means if I fund my account, let's say to, $200, right? They're going to match me, right? They're going to match me. They might give me, 150 extra dollars. Right, but I want to give a full disclosure to you all that if you decide to take the bonus, right, depending on the terms and conditions of that broker, you're going to have to make X amount more, right? Sometimes it's 2 times more, sometimes it's 3 times more as what is in your current account before you can withdraw your money. So just keep that in mind when you are choosing your broker. Now, the final broker that I personally use, which is not on here, is Pocket Options. Okay, so Pocket Options essentially is a $50 minimum deposit, right? You don't need a promo code for this. You would just go straight to the site and sign up, and they will, allow you to fund your account. Now, if funding is a little bit complex for you, you do have the How to Fund video. Okay, so this is going to walk you through how to put that Bitcoin into your account. And also the way you fund it is going to be essentially the same way you withdraw. Now we're getting into our overview, right? So our overview, for those that have just started today, you have important videos that you need to watch before you start trading. Okay, so we're going to get into our 100 series, right? It's going to go over, buying versus selling, right? Calls and puts. You also have your 300 series, right? For those that trade, with Cash Trap, right? Or DL Woods, right? You're going to need this 300 series to help you understand what it is you're looking at. All right. Now, once you finish your videos, right, and you're ready to go, you set up your account. There are also some Telegram chats that you can get on, and also some free trading plans, right? So for those that are, interested in compounding, right, they have a trading plan that breaks it down from, the month, the week to the day of how much you need to make, the max amount you can risk in order to get to that goal that you need to get to. Okay. Does everybody follow? Drop a 5 in the chat if you follow. Drop a 5 in the chat. Just want to make sure we're all good. Perfect, 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 perfect. Boom. Oh, we locked in on a Valentine's Day. All right. So now we are going to get into our go live session. So for those that do not know, we actually have people who are going to be live trading with us. Right. Sometimes, if you feel like, some things are not working, right? Some products I really don't understand what they're doing, right? If you go to golive.im, we have here, right, some of our top educators in HFX trading live with us. And shout out to Millie Mills for those that do not know, but she is back this week. She dropped it on her Instagram and she is ready to make some money with us. So As you can see, you have a couple different options here, right? DL Woods is also one, as well as Millie Mills. I know you don't see them on here, but I want to take a quick moment for everybody to just drop in the chat who has made them the most money. Who do they love to trade with? This is for my old HFX educators, my old HFX traders. Who have you made money from? Zoom links for my Valentine's. I love it. I love it. I love it. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, and shout out, actually next week in Miami, I'll let you all know that Arlette is doing a HFX in-person boot camp, right? That my team will be at next Saturday. So please pull up if you're around. She is gonna show you live how she does what she does. Okay, so now I'm gonna go ahead and just click on someone. So I'm gonna click on Maddie here, right? So when you go on these sessions, let's say if you miss one, that's okay, because what they're going to do is have the sessions pre-recorded for you, right? So you can always go back and reference some. So I'm going to show you this one where he says start here, 4-0, right? For those that know Maddie, Maddie don't miss, okay? Barely misses at all. So we're just gonna click on a video, right? And I'm just gonna show you how he trades. So we're gonna
we work towards the rest
trading
account. I don't trade your funds for you. All of the trades that I call out are just trade ideas. You don't have to take any of the trades that I call out. I'm just going to trade my money on these live sessions, and I'm going to take trades, and I'm going to let you guys know which trades I'm taking. Now, if you want to take them, you can. I'm not saying you have to, but if you do, just know that they are trade ideas. Now, the next thing I'm going to say to you is if you are going to take my trades, just so we can still have fun, you don't have to worry about winning or losing, please do not risk more than 3% of your account per trade. So what is 3%? Well, the $500 account, guys, that would be $15. So in this amount section here, don't risk anything more than $15. That's 3% of a $500 account. Now, if you took the bonus, if you use the 200% bonus and you basically are starting out at $1,500, well, the most you can risk, guys, is $45.
Okay, so boom, right? We're trading live. He literally told us what to do and what not to do. Okay, so I highly suggest, right? These educators have been doing this for a very long time, right? So he says, do not risk over 3% of your account, right? He tells you also that these are trade ideas. Okay, these are trade ideas. So I want to make sure that you all fully understand that. Let's say if you miss a trade, right? You miss one, you might miss two, right? Don't get mad, right? Because these are trade ideas. These are not things that you necessarily have to take. But if you choose to take them, I just want to make sure you all fully understand that. Okay, so these are the Go Live sessions that we have full accessibility to. You can also put in your favorite sessions, right? You can mark those out, or go in the past just to see if there's some other, chart markups or, hourglass or Liberty strategies that you may have missed. Okay, so now that we have looked at our Go Live sessions, we do send out the schedule in NASA, right, every single week. So you'll be able to know, right, what days and what times they come on. And if you miss, there's also a schedule that they have that'll show you. All right. So now we are going to get into our strategy. So my favorite thing right now. I'm going to go to my presentation. So the first thing that you are going to have, right? So when you're trading for my HFX users, hourglass, boom, bam, right? You're gonna have this. Right? This is called the simple scalper. Okay. There's a couple of things on here that look a little bit confusing to you, but I'm going to break them down. Now, the first thing that you have is what is called this Bollinger Band strategy, right? So this red band that you see and this blue band that you see, if you think of rubber band, right? If you think of a rubber band and you are trying to, let's say, pull it out, right? Trying to pull it out, trying to stretch it out, right? It has to come back in eventually, right? Unless you pop. We don't pop rubber bands. So when you're bringing it back in, right, it is actually reversing. So what we're looking at with this red band, right, this red band right here, excuse me, and this blue band right here is the reversals in the market, right? So every time you see market touch the red band, you see that market tends to reverse, right? Because our buying candles are blue, our selling candles are red. Right? And then if you look at the blue band, every time it hits the bottom of that band, it reverses in the opposite direction. Okay. So that is what the Bollinger Band strategy is. Now, if you see it in the middle, right? If you see market chilling in the middle of this band, that represents consolidation. And what consolidation means is there's a bunch of buying pressure and there's a bunch of selling pressure. We don't want to trade there because we necessarily don't know which way the market is going to go, right? So the best way to avoid losing our money is waiting, right, until the market makes its move either at the top of the band, right, which is our red band, or the bottom of the band. Okay. So now we are going to go into our dots, right? So these dots, as you all see right here, many of you have more than likely seen this on Pips and Breakfast for those who have hopped on, but this stands for our parabolic SARs. Okay, so our parabolic SARs basically are just showing us the overall trend. So for my older HFX users, if the SARs are forming below our price, right? If the SARs are below market, right? If market is above our SARs, right? Are we saying that the market is buying currently, or are we saying the market is selling? Drop it in the chat. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Oh, we got some people locked in already, ready. All right, cool. Yes. So if the SARs are above our price, right? Price is below our SARs. Are we going in for a buy or a sell? Drop it in the chat. Sell. Perfect. All right, so you guys kind of see, right? You can see exactly how this works. It's pretty simple. It's telling us which way the trend is going. All right. So those are two indicators that we have. Now we also have our EMA, right? Exponential moving average, right? Which is going to be this purple line. If price is above our EMA, that is another confirmation, right, that market is buying. If it is below our EMA, that means market is selling. All right. And the two final indicators that we have on here, right, is our stochastic oscillator and our RSI. Right. So our stochastic, right, is right here, and our RSI is right here. So stochastic, basically we're looking at areas that are being overbought and oversold. Right. And we're going to break it down as we go into the actual, trading strategy. All right. So the very, very first thing is when market is being overbought, right? When market is being overbought, we can, determine that market is going to sell soon, right? And when market is being oversold, we can determine that market is going to buy soon. Same thing with the RSI. RSI is just helping us understand which way the trend is moving. Okay. Now, if none of this made sense to you at all, right? The good thing about Simple Scalper is that it tells you where to enter, right? So it gives you that price point that you're looking at. Okay. It gives you that price point. It also gives you signals on the right-hand side to tell you when to enter. Right. And if you look in the notes, it says, for best results, collect 4 confirmations, right? So this RSI we're talking about, this stochastic, this Bollinger Bands, all of that are a part of our confirmations. Okay. So we are now going to go into our confirmations, right? How do we look at this point system? So the first thing, right? The first thing that we are looking at is our bands. Okay, so it tells you price is near touching under the bottom band, right? For a buy, that is 1 point, right? Same thing with the sell, right? But with the top band. Our stochastic, if it's crossing up for a buy, it is a 1 point. If it's crossing down for a sell, that is 1 point. Same thing with our RSI, our EMAs, our SARs, and our currency strength, right? Our currency strength meter. And I'll show you all the currency strength meter as well. Now, once you've looked at your chart, right, this is where that point system comes in. And a lot of the educators, pretty much all the educators use this, right? They might make a mental note. They might not show you this point system, but in their minds, they're saying, okay, if these confirmations add up, right, I'm going to give you the quality of this trade, right? I'm going to see if this is, a good trade, a great trade, or an excellent trade. All right. So let's say if 3 of these points add up and it's a good trade. That might mean I might want to wait till something else comes and it's, 5+ points. All right. Now, 4 points. Okay, cool. We can go there. 5 points. Definitely this trade should be closing. Okay. So drop a 2 if you follow with me. Drop a 2. Drop a 2. I got to see. Okay, cool. Perfect. Now, before I even go into Hourglass, I'm actually going to run it back a little bit. And I'm going to show you all how the broker looks, because I realize we do have new people on, right? So how do we take all of this and put it into our broker? So I'm going to exit out of this. Oh, this thing always does this. All right, cool. So back to our broker. Cool. I'm going to exit out of this for you all. We have a couple of things. So when you sign up, right, your account is going to look somewhat like this. Okay. You're going to have however much your demo is, right? You're going to have this green button. You're going to have this red button. All right. So what do these buttons mean to me? How does this make me money? I want to know. So if you have this green button, right, this green button means that we anticipate market is going to buy. And in HFX terms, that means we are going in for a call. Right, so when we press this button, we want market to be above where we entered, okay? Now, for our red button, we want market to be below our entry, all right? We want market to be beneath our entry by the time the trade closes. Now, when we do this in HFX, you have the ability to determine when you want this trade to close. Right, so we have an expiration time. So some people, right, we could trade with 30 seconds, right? Some people, they say, I want to do, right, 10 minutes. So that's a long trade. I want to do, 1 minute or 2 minutes, right? So after that time frame that you've selected and whatever button you push, you're going to know if this trade closed or not. All right. Now, you also have your trade amount. So for each trade, you get to determine how much you want to risk. Right? When I first started HFX, I was like, wow, like this is kind of cool. I can determine how much I want to make because I wasn't FRX savvy. I'm not going to lie to you. Like I was putting in trades not knowing how much I was really going to lose until I lost it. So this has allowed me to actually say, all right, I know before I enter this trade, how much I'm going to lose. So as you can see, right now we're at $1. Okay, we're at $1. Now, you'll see above your red button and your green button, or sometimes for some people, it's in the middle. You're going to see this percentage. So what does this percentage mean to my trade, right? So every, dollar that you risk, right, however much it is, you are going to get a percentage payout of what it is you risk, right? So if I risk $1, right, but I'm trading something that is 92%, that means that I'm not only going to get my dollar back, but I'm also going to get an additional 92%, which is 92 cents. Okay. Now, if we raise this, right, let's say if we go to $10, right, we have now that we've risked $10 to now gain $9.20 back, which will equate to $19.20. Now, if you're a big ball and you got a big account, right, you can make this whatever you want, right? We could do 400, right? We could do something big, okay? So every time you risk higher, you're going to be able to make more money. Now, I will say that when you, like, for example, if the trade does not close, you're going to lose what you risked, right? So you can't blame it on anybody but yourself because you knew how much you were going to risk. Every trade also is not 92%. So I'm going to show you all how this works. So when you're trading live, or when you're trading with your team, or if you're trading by yourself, you're gonna see that each currency, crypto, commodity, and stock offers a different percentage. All right, so you can see these right now are 92%. However, these currencies right here are 54%. Now, if we go to our cryptos, we can see, right, Bitcoin right now is at 40%. Our commodities, right, they're stuck at 80%. And then we have our stocks. Now, we don't want to trade anything that is below 70%. And I'll tell you why. Let's say if we went to Johnson & Johnson, that is 25, or wow, now 23, just flipped. That is at 23%. If you look at the bottom here, you see where it has $4, right? And our 92% payout is going to give us $3.68. If we were to change this to Johnson & Johnson, our $4 risk now only gives us a 23% reward, right? So I'm risking $4 to get 92 cents. Or I'm risking $10 to get $2.30. So why am I gonna waste all of this money to only get less, even more than less than half back? That doesn't make sense, right? So don't trade anything under 70%. When you are trading with the live educators, depending on the broker you use, right, your payout might be different, right? They might be trading on VidForex and they might have an 80%, right? But you're trading on race options and that trade might be 50%, okay? So you just want to make sure that you avoid that, because if the trade doesn't go the way you anticipate, you're really not making your money, okay? So now I'm going to show you all exactly how we do these trades. So I'm just going to click Apple, something random. And when it comes to brokers also, keep in mind that there's no broker that is better than the other, right? All brokers have their, highlights, right? And they also have their areas of improvement. So keep in mind when you're trading, right? All of them have something going on, right? So we don't want to scare people about, certain brokers doing this and certain brokers doing that, and, all these hoopla things. If anything happens, right, contact support. That will be your best friend, okay? So let's say I click this button, right? So I'm going to make it down to 30 seconds just so we can pass time with this. So boom, click this button, right? I risk $5. Cool. The trade is now activated. As you can see, now that price is above my entry, right? And I'll zoom in for you all. Now that price is above my entry, you can tell, well, now it's not, you can tell how this went from 0 to now $9.60. Okay, but now that it is below my entry, no matter how far below it is, I'm only risking how much I put in. Okay, so you can see, right, this trade did not close. And since it did not close, I only lost my $5. Now, let's say if you hit a trade and you risk $5, but you only got back $5. That means that you broke even, which means that wherever you entered price at, right, wherever you click that button, that means that price closed where you entered. So essentially, you broke even. Now, if the trade would have closed above my entry, right? If it would close above my entry, that means that I've now made, my additional 92% back. Rule of thumb, as he mentioned, don't trade anything over 3%. You're not risking 3% of your account. That also means for me, if you trade twice, right, and you lose 2 times in a row, close the app, go to bed, go take some water, take a walk, something. You know what I mean? Go have fun. And I say that because in HFX, you can get really greedy really fast, right? So as much as you can make money and get excited, if you continuously are losing, in your mind, you're going to be so forced to try and get that money back that you're not going to be really focused on how, logically should I be getting this money back, right? And I'm sure some people can attest in the chat where, you've traded so much trying to make up what you lost that you end up just losing like a lot, right? I've done it before too. And it's sad, but it's okay. Like, so let me give me a second. All right, so cool. So now that we understand this, go ahead and drop a 7 in the chat if you fully understand this concept. Drop an 8 if you don't. Drop a 7 if you understand. Drop an 8 if you don't. I want to make sure that everybody's getting it before we even move on to the next thing. Perfect. Okay, cool. We're good. We're good. All right. So the next thing we're going to do, right? So now we're going to go back to our presentation that we had. And we are back at, oops, excuse me. Oh, why is this doing this? Oh, why is my screen doing this? Okay, perfect. So now we're back. So this will be the strategy that you're going to utilize to help you understand, what it is you're looking at. And I'll go over the currency strength meter here briefly. Now, for those that have, right, Hourglass, right, for those that have Hourglass, the add-on or the Elite Pack, you are going to see essentially the same thing, right? You're going to see the same thing. However, there are a couple of things that are a little bit different on here. I'm only showing you this right now just because the market is closed, right? So I want to just kind of give you an overview before it opens. So first thing, right, the Bollinger Band strategy, same thing. So you have at the top your red band and you also have your green band. Okay, a new indicator that we have is this arrow, right? This arrow right here. This arrow is going to be game changer for your trading. This arrow is going to indicate which way, right, which should you be going in for a buy, right, which is a call, or a put, which is a sell. So for my, experienced HFX traders, right, if the arrow is at the bottom of the Bollinger Band pointing upwards, are we going in for a call or are we going in for a put? Cool. Yes. Yes, we are going in for a call. Why? Because it is telling us right now, as we're looking at it, the market is going to be moving upward, right? You can also see, as I mentioned in the beginning, the Bollinger Band, right? Market is at the bottom. Market's at the bottom of the band. So we're looking for that potential reversal, right? Since it's sold, you can see where that arrow came out, the candlestick of a buying candle, the buying candlestick also formed, which means that we are going up, right? Now, if the market, right, if the arrow is pointing downwards and is at the top of the band, are we going in for a call or a put? Let's say this arrow was reversed, right? And it was at the top, okay? So that means we are going in for a put. We are looking for that sale. Okay, we also have our entry price, right? It's telling you where we should enter. Now, if market, right, let's say if it's in the middle, right? Market is chilling in the middle right now. Are we going to trade yes or no? And I want to make sure that these are the simple things that you all understand before we even move on, right? So in the middle of the band, we don't want to trade, right? Avoid that. Also, when you are trading with whoever it might be an educator, it might be somebody on your team. A lot of times, since the market is moving so fast, you're going to hear them call out the last 3 digits of that trade, right? They're going to call out the last 3 digits. So they're not going to say going for a call at 106.923. That takes too long. You're going to hear them say at 923. Okay. So don't freak out and be like, oh my God, wait, I don't have this number. Yes, you do. It's just the last 3 digits, okay? It's just the last 3 digits. Now, for some brokers, right, price is a little bit off, so you will need to figure out, right, what does that system look like? If you're not trading with them, right, you want to know, okay, what is the difference in price? All right. Well, we also have, as again, our stochastic and our RSI, which is the exact same thing that we talked about, right? Those overbought and oversold areas, right? And the strength of the market, and our EMA right here, right? Price is above our EMA, it's going in for a buy. Price is moving upward. If it is below our EMA, then price is going in for a sell. You also have signals, right? So your signals are available to you on the right-hand side, and they're going to tell you when to enter and at what time frame. Okay, and if there's any notes, if there's something that happens, they might say, this trade is invalidated, or you might want to wait extra time. They're going to give that to you as well in the alert panel. Now for this point system, right? For this point system, we are going to utilize, right, a couple of things that are essentially the same, but there's a few that are slightly different. So number one is our arrow indicator, right? If the arrow is going up for a buy, that means 3 points. If the arrow is going down for a sell, right, that is 3 points. Our stochastic, right, those points are a little bit different, right? Our RSI, our EMA, and then our currency strength meter. So what I want to show you all for our currency strength meter is how this works, right? So let's say, okay, it says if the first currency is stronger than the second for a buy, right, that is 1 point. If the second currency is stronger than the first for a sell, then that is 1 point. So how do we look at that, right? I didn't see that indicator on my screen. Where am I supposed to go? So if you go into Google, right? So if we take this out and we go into Google and we just type in currency strength meter, right? It usually should be the first thing that you see, all right? What we want to know when we're trading, right, is what currency is stronger than the other, right? Or what currency is weaker than the other. Now, the amount of bars that a currency has is determining the strength of that pair. So if I were to go back and look at this presentation, right, and for you all, it'll be, when the market opens, whatever it is you're looking at, right, it says USD JPY, right, as you can see. And it's going in for a call. So they're looking for a buy, right? They're saying that market is going to buy. So what I want to know from this screen, right, I want to know if USD is going to be stronger than JPY. All right, so I'm going to look at USD. I see it has 1 bar, whereas JPY has 2 bars. So that's a point that I'm not going to include, right? I'm not going to subtract it when I tally up, my point system. I'm just not going to include it, right? Because right now it is not stronger. Now, let's say if it was going in for a put, right, which is a sell, then this would work, right? This would work. So this is going to help you utilize that point system. And finally, we're going to get into our trades. Like now we got to get into the fun part of actually putting these in, putting this all together and seeing exactly how it works. All right, so we are going to go back to our demo account. And so the one thing that I really want you all to get into the habit of doing is, right, putting these indicators, right, or cross-referencing these indicators when you are taking your trades. Okay, so for me, usually I'm swiping back and forth between, Hourglass, or swiping back and forth between Liberty and cross-referencing. But for some of the indicators, I need to see them here, right? So the number one thing that I am going to add to my chart is the stochastic oscillator, right? So we're gonna put that in there, right? We actually have that on Hourglass, but I need to just kind of get a double, quicker view, because some of these currencies sometimes move a little bit fast. So, right, we're gonna add this. And then I'm also going to add the parabolic SARs, okay? So I'm going to go to the SARs. Cool. Now, we're going to take the stochastic oscillator first. So number one, when you are looking at this, right, when you're looking at it on, Hourglass or Liberty, right, this is what it's showing you. When market is in the 80, right, when market is hitting this line, these two lines, right, are hitting this 80 line. That means that market is currently being overbought, which also means there's a lot of buying pressure right now. Okay, now what goes up must come down. So even though I know that market is being overbought, I'm expecting soon for a sell to happen. Okay, so when market crosses, right, and it comes down, market is now selling. Right? If it breaks the 80, I call it the little rainbow effect. If it comes and breaks the 80, market is being overbought. If it breaks the 80 and goes down, market is being oversold. Now the same thing for the 20, right? Except we are now looking at an area that is being oversold. Okay, so oversold basically meaning there's a lot of selling pressure happening right now. I'll call this my U-shape effect. All right, so when it breaks this 80, right, market is going down, right? I'm getting a lot of selling pressure. But when it decides, did I say break the 80? Break this 20, sorry. Getting a lot of selling pressure. Now, when it breaks this 20 to go back up, that means, right, market is attempting to buy again. Now, when market is in the 50, right, this little 50, 30, 70 range right here, I don't want to trade, right? The Bollinger Band is the same thing because this is going to show me areas of consolidation. Market can do one of two things. Market can either A, reverse in the middle, right? Or B, break through. And we can check our past trend just to see, right here we have where market actually broke this area. It's not broke it actually rejected off of this area. But then we also have here where market broke through, right? It went straight up. So this is going to help you avoid, right, blowing your account. Okay. So now I'm going to cross-reference this with my parabolic SARs. Right, so we went into that, if price is above our SARs, that means market is buying. If our SARs are above our price, that means market is selling. So what I'm going to do is cross-reference all of this, right? So while Hourglass is moving, while Liberty is moving, you usually sometimes flip it back in your screen, especially when you're calling signals, right? But for me right now, I need double confirmations. I need double confirmations to see what exactly is going on, right? So the stars are moving in real time, which is great. Now, what I'm looking for, right, is I want my 20, right? I want my 20 to come, or excuse me, I want market to break my 20 to come back into this buy, right? But let's say if market breaks this 20 right here, I don't want to get in until I see a SAR form below price, right? Because I wanted to push price up. Sometimes if we rely on not enough indicators when it comes to HFX, you have what's called that market rejection or that fake out where it acted like it was going to buy and it really never did. Okay. So what I'm looking for right now is my SARs, right, to form below price. And I also want market to break my 20 so it then can move up, right? Now, for those that actually needed to see, more of the indicators on their screen while they're cross-referencing back and forth, you do have the ability to change your chart to candlesticks. Okay, so for those that need the band strategy on, let me go back. You can go to candles, okay, and have that same imagery. And if you also needed to add on the Bollinger Bands, right, you can do that. So Bollinger Bands here to help you with that cross-referencing, okay? But what I'm looking for now, I'm gonna take this off and I'm gonna go back to my area. Cool. So I'm looking for a SAR to form above, right? So I can go in for this sale. But, as you can see, one is formed, okay? I want at least two, right? I want at least two. And what I want is I want the SARs to be more spread out because what's going to happen is sometimes when they're forming sideways, that is also showing you consolidation. Okay. However, if they start to form in a certain direction, you can determine that the market is actually going to have some movement for you. Okay. Now, sometimes, like I said, right, you have the sideways movement. It just consolidated, it actually rejected off of this area. You will also have times in your stochastic where you're going to see prices chilling above the 80 for a long time or below the 20 for some time. Even if it's flat line on your stochastic, if you check your chart, you're going to see the continuation in movement. So even though this looks slightly flat, if I were to check up here, I can see that it just continued to decline. right? So that can be multiple selling opportunities, right? Multiple put opportunities, excuse me, right? Now, I would always check in the past, right? You want to see whatever it is you're trading, right? You want to know how the market's been moving. Has it been, oversold for some time? Has it been consolidating for some time? Has it been, overbuying for some time? Because it's going to help you determine, okay, the validity of your trades, right? How valid they are, right? So now that I'm looking, I'm just chilling, right? So I'll even go down to, let's just say $2, right? And I'm gonna switch over to my silver, right? So silver is something that I love to trade precisely. And I will say before we take this trade that the educators also use what is called rollover, right? Rollover. That means that, let's say if you anticipate this trade is not going to close in the way you think it is, right? You can add more time to your trade, in hopes that it will close. What I will say is just because you roll over, that does not mean you are going to close in profit, okay? There's potential that it will, but it's not necessarily the case all the time. Pocket options does not have rollover, okay? Does not have rollover. For me, I am not disciplined enough to roll over, and I know that. So me, if I had rollover, I'm gonna keep rolling over until my account is at zero, and I don't want to do that, right? So I'm sticking with pocket options. I'm sticking with pocket options. And they also have what it's called double up, right? Double up. So double up means that, you can double your profit, right? Double your profit. So you're going in for another entry, right? If you know that trade is going to close, you can double up, right? Maximize your profits, okay? Now, for those that do decide to say, or do decide to do, pocket options, if you are doubling up, you can just take another trade, lessen the amount of time, right? So that other trade can close essentially at the same time as the first trade you did, okay? Drop a 6 if this is making sense, because I know I've been chatting it up here, but we're gonna get out here in a second, I promise. Drop a 6 if this is making sense so far, everybody. Perfect. Perfect. Yes, because we got to make some money today, y'all. For real, for real. Cool, 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 cool. So now we are going to look at some trades. So let's see. All right. Right now, silver is at 80%, right? So I'm only going to get $1.06 back while risking $2. OTC, on pocket options, you will see what is called OTC, which stands for over the counter, which also stands for there is bank manipulation in the market, right? So they are manipulating the market just to make it move a little bit different than certain currencies would. Right now, if you can master OTC, right? Because sometimes OTC is tricky, but if you can master OTC, you can trade a regular currency. That's like they say, if you can make it in New York, you can make it anywhere. If you can master OTC, if you know how to trade this, you will be just fine trading any other currency. Okay. So now what I'm looking for, and I'll just show you all, is, right, let's see, I'm going to go back to the presentation. The presentation said USD/JPY. So let's see. We see USD/JPY here. Cool. Right? Cool. So I see what is happening. And this is for, people that want to just take different, trades from different currencies or different stocks, different cryptos. For me, I usually stick to one, which is silver. That is all I typically trade. But for those, I want to cross-reference what we saw today. So I have a couple of things, right? Market told me to go in for a call, okay? We're looking at our stochastic, we're looking at our SARs, we're looking to see what is happening. So we have a 78% payout, which is cool, all right? So what I wanna know is when market starts to shift over, right? When market starts to break this 20, I wanna go in for a call, right? It would have been beautiful had it broke this 20, right? And I would have gone in for a put, right? Because market is chilling right now under this 20. But if you miss it, it's okay, because market moves so fast, you're gonna have plenty opportunities to get to where you need to go. So let's see. We're just gonna wait. I'm gonna wait because I've seen it go down already. And let me zoom out just to see what this trend is doing. It looks like it's chilling in the same range. Okay. So I'm just gonna wait. Now, if you lose trades while we're waiting, I want to start a form at the bottom. But if you lose trades, don't feel bad. Don't be upset, right? This is something that takes a lot of time. Demo. Okay, demo until you feel comfortable, right? So now, one thing. If I went in for this trade, right? Now, let's say that this trade does not close. I'll tell you exactly why it didn't close, right? Because there's a couple of things that I did that I could have done better. So when you're trading, right, I want you to fully understand if you lose a trade, why you lost that trade. So for this one, I can tell you exactly what I did, right? Getting trigger happy. I waited, right? I actually traded this a little bit early, right? It did close in profit, but at the same time, I actually traded this a little bit early than I should have, because I only had one SAR that formed. Right, I wanted 2 SARs that formed. However, it did break my 20. Right, it did break my 20 to go in for that call. Yes, the call. Right, so I'm just gonna do a waiting game again. Right, I'm gonna see what's happening. My SARs are continuing to form up. It's above my 80, but it's looking like it's trying to pivot. Right, no SAR has formed above right here. So guess what? I can anticipate that this market is going to fake out and go back into a buy. Right, so I'm just gonna sit here and see what happens. As you can see, it's starting to pivot, like I said, right? And it could break through, but I'm seeing the buy potentially coming back. So we're gonna try and take one more, and then I'll open it up for questions. So just, looking. Market is usually slow on Sundays until, the actual, market of FRX opens. So you're gonna get a lot of the slow movement. During the London session, you will see a bunch of, faster movement, right? So you wanna be very consistent. This breaks the 80. I believe I'm gonna go in for another call just to see, right, how this goes. Right, so we going for a call, okay? So now price has broken above my 80, right? It's being overbought. Price is above here, right, where I entered. We have 17 seconds on the clock. Now, my SARs were continuing to form up. This was a good confirmation for me. Okay, so we just chilling, right? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Cool. So now we're 2-0. All right, so what I do is I keep it going. Keep it going. So we'll try one more. I don't stop until I'm 2 lost. Right, so if I want my SAR to form up top, right, it's going in for this put. Let's see what happens. So let's see. If the SAR does not form, I'm not getting in. I'm gonna wait till one more forms. You clear with me? Perfect. Yay. Cool. So now we're in. We are in. I see my SARs they're looking like they're trying to move sideways, but it's looking like it's going down. It's going down. All right, so we here, we chilling. 3, 2, 1, boom, 3-0. We lit. Clear. All right. So you just keep that repetition going. All right. So now what I want to do is I want to open it up for questions for you all. Go ahead and drop in the chat. Yay. Go ahead and drop in the chat. Any questions that you have. I will do one more for you all just to see, right? Just to see. So no questions. Everybody's good. Oh, y'all cleared. Hi, yay. Cool. Let's see. Does it matter? how zoomed out in or you are on the area. No, it doesn't matter. For me, I personally like to see, right? I personally just like to see the overall trend, right? I want to know, right, what is the direction it's moving in, because that's going to help me anticipate, should I be going in for more calls or should I be going in for more puts? Is there a name of this strategy or an educator? So the name of this strategy is ALISSA strategy. No, I'm kidding. This strategy is essentially, honestly, using Hourglass and Liberty and cross-referencing it, right? Just cross-referencing it and putting it back into motion, right? So if I'm, trading with the Go Live educators, they utilize the same thing, right? But for me, if I'm trading on my own, right, I can kind of anticipate how they're calling their trades and do the same thing here. Will this recording be available? Absolutely. Yes, it will. It will. I will have it and I will send it out. Can you show how you know what price to enter? So when it comes to the entry price, what I'm looking for is, like I said, the stochastic, right? I want it to be above my 20, right? So when it's above my 20 and it breaks to go up, that means that is a call, right? That is a call I'm looking for. So I'm going to say I wanted to enter at, price probably down here was at like 270, right? Or no, I'm sorry, about like 250-ish. So I would anticipate, right, when to go in, right? If I'm using Liberty though, if I'm using Hourglass, I'm gonna see the entry prices that they give me, right? But when I'm cross-referencing it, all I'm doing is just going back here, right? And then just putting in those same, calls or puts as well. Can you do one more? Absolutely. Yes, I can. I'll do it right now. So you enter on the second or wait for the third SAR. I do the second SAR, double confirmation. Now, if the second SAR forms sideways, I'm not going to enter simply because, that's consolidation. I wanted to have some type of direction. What's your trading? What's your trading schedule? Your strategy and teaching style. So I'm going to get back into doing my live trading sessions. I used to do them every other day of the week. But after this week, definitely getting back into the mix of that. So if you all want to trade, please let me know. I'll send it out to everybody. And we're just gonna make money together. Like, that's just what it is. And then I will do one more. I didn't forget. How do you know how long to stay in for a trade? For example, 2-minute put, 4-minute put. So for me, I usually trade for pocket options, 30 seconds. So I do 30 seconds just because 30 seconds for me is I just like it fast. Like, some people want to do longer trades. The signals that are called, right, with the Go Live educators, sometimes they do 2 minutes, 3 minutes. When I'm trading with Hourglass, I'll usually trade a bit longer. But I do know that certain currencies, for example, like silver, right, silver moves fast. So when I am going in on silver, right, sometimes that 1-minute trade is a little bit too long for me. That 2-minute trade is a little bit too long for me. Like 30 seconds, I want to be done. Call it a day. We made 3-0 in what, a minute and 30 seconds. Imagine if you risked $10, you made somebody's hourly salary in 1 minute and 30 seconds. Like, come on. So, yes. Okay, so one more trade. So I want to show you all how this works. One more trade. Let's see what we're looking for. All right, so I want to SAR to form up top if this breaks. So let's just look. Let's look. I know people do trade live as well with me. So if you do see something and you clear, right, you can go ahead and drop it in the chat within these last 2 minutes. Let's see. If the SAR does not form up top, I don't want it. I don't want to trade it. So I'm just waiting here. Just waiting, just chilling, right? So we got one. Now, this one, got one, okay. I see the SAR forming sideways. right? I see the stars forming sideways, so I'm gonna wait for a second. As you can see, because they formed sideways, market is now pivoting. So that's that consolidation. Market is also in the 50. I would have risked losing some money just now, right? Because I didn't wait. So just gonna chill, wait and see if the market comes back to that 80 or drops back down to that 20. How y'all feeling so far? Drop it in the chat. How y'all feeling? How y'all feeling while we just waiting for this last trade to come? Y'all feeling like y'all gonna make some money? Cause y'all need to. Drop it in the chat. Oops. Good, 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 good. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Y'all done made some money. We're gonna get some money this week. We're gonna get y'all paid this week, period. So, boom. Oh, wow, cool. So I believe this is going to go in for a call. I feel it. I see the SARS moving upward. So I'm going to take this one. And I actually should have taken this a second earlier. That would have been a little better. Just because I waited until the fourth SAR. So a sniper entry, you want to do it right before, you know, it gets to that third or fourth SAR, excuse me. So we got 10, 9, wait, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Clear, 4-0. Don't play with it. I'll be trying to tell y'all, okay? This is how we do, all right? 4-0. Cool. So, thank you guys so much. 4-0. Use this strategy, make some money. Don't play with me, okay? Don't play with it. Don't play with the stuff at all right? We're going to get coded this. We're going to get y'all paid this week. I love you all. If y'all don't have any other questions, thank you so much for allowing me to be on this call with you all. And see you at the top because the bottom is way too crowded. Happy Valentine's Day. Love y'all. I am out.